Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And we're going to get to know a little bit more about what's going on at the School of the Osage today, as we've got Amy Yoder, who is the Director of Choirs at the School of the Osage, and Jeff Kile, Director of Bands at the school. And when I say School of the Osage, it's not just Osage High School, right? You guys work like in the middle schools and the high schools, and I don't know, do you have anything to do with the elementary schools and stuff?
We don't teach in the elementaries, but we're definitely big supporters of them because they're our feeder programs.
Yeah.
So it's really important that we support our elementary music teachers, and we both have middle school assistants that help us and high school assistant teachers that are a big part of our program as well.
Right. Well, and just looking at some of the numbers that are in your programs, it seems like you've been able to get the kids excited in choir, excited in band, because you have some pretty big numbers that you have participating.
Yeah, we feel really blessed to be able to work with a lot of kids, especially at the middle school and the high school level. So we just try to get them in and get them excited about playing music and being together in the same room. So it's kind of fun.
So can I call you Amy, or do I have to call you Miss Yoder?
I'd say Amy,
okay.
Just fine.
All right. So your family actually has a huge tradition at School of the Osage. You've had like 4 generations come through there, right?
It's neat. My grandfather graduated from Brumley High School, which would have been before Osage was all incorporated. And my dad was an Osage graduate, and my grandfather was on the school board, and my dad was, and my brother is now. And my kids are graduating from Osage. And so, you know, I left for a little bit and then taught at Cole Camp and then came back to Osage. And it's been neat to see the traditions continue, but also grow.
Yeah. You know, that's one of the things I've noticed about this area, because Camdenton seems to have that, School of the Osage seems to have that, Eldon for sales. Everybody here, it seems like a lot of the students come back. For some reason, they just love it here or something. Where I grew up, people like to leave, go away and not come back. But here, people like to come back. It's kind of fascinating. How long have you been at the School of the Osage?
So this is my 18th year at School of the Osage. It was actually my first job out of college.
Yeah.
And I took over the program from Mike Williams, who was an assistant principal and then a principal at the high school. But 18 years. So.
Wow, 18 years. How did you grow up here, or did you make your way here?
Actually, I'm from Lebanon High School,
Okay.
From Lebanon area, and then my wife is actually from the Eldon area. So we met teaching at School of the Osage, and it's a perfect fit for us because we're kind of right in between our families.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that distance sometimes is nice, right? You know, where you don't have to live right next door to mom or whatever. You know, so that's kind of cool. So really, kind of from the area still.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. So growing up in Lebanon, then, did you hate the lake area? I mean, was that rivalry alive and well back then?
I think there was a little rivalry between Lebanon and Camdenton when I was in high school. I think that still exists a little bit. So.
Yeah, just a little bit. Absolutely. So Amy, you've got, 3 different choirs?
So in our high school, we have 3 different choirs. We have our big concert chorale that has approximately 90 kids in it. And then we have a girls' chamber choir, which has about 32 girls.
Okay.
And then our Les Chanteurs group has 32. And both of those top groups, they're kind of our community groups. We go out, we perform for a lot of community events. It's mixed, so we have like our mixed group, Les Chanteurs. There's 18 boys and 18 girls, or 16. It kind of depends on each year, but it's just a great group. They're involved in so many activities at Osage. I think that's probably the thing that Jeff and I are probably the most proud of. Our programs are Osage kids are well diverse. They are involved in everything from theater to football, to basketball, to band, to choir, and we share a lot of the same kids as well, but it's neat to see that, you know, when you have 32 kids and you can say almost every single one of them is not just in your program, but is involved in so many other activities.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes that's tough because we're all wanting the best, you know, we're all sharing those kids too, but even when I was in high school, I think that's what we do best, is we share kids. And
it's funny, we were just talking about that on the way up. Amy attended, Coach Jolly had a little weight meet this weekend, and she was just telling me, I didn't get to attend because we had something going on with family, but she was just telling me how many of of the kids that were involved in our programs were out there lifting weights at the weight meet, and then they'll be in our classrooms singing and playing instruments this week too. So it's kind of cool.
Well, I've always found that interesting because we have the opportunity at Lake TV to carry some of your games, School of the Osage games, and it's always fun to see the basketball players, the football players running out of the locker room to play in the band or, something like that. And then they run back in to get ready for the game and stuff like that. That's interesting. I mean, it's probably a lot of work for those kids, but it's also probably very beneficial for those kids.
And a lot of cooperation, among your staff.
Yeah.
Having good relationships and working together and understanding that it's really about the student. But also teaching those students how to manage that because life is like that.
Yeah.
And so I really do believe that that's one of our greatest strengths at Osage is these kids are involved and they get to be involved in whatever they want to be involved in.
Absolutely. And I know I think in your 3 high school choirs, you have like 150
Altogether.
students. Is it hard to keep track? I mean, and you've got the band, you got that marching band with 1,000 kids out there.
Yeah.
Is it hard to keep track of all those kids and all that, to do all that? I'm guessing you have some staff that helps.
We do, and I feel we both feel very blessed to have great people to work with. Kelsey Whitaker is our assistant director at Osage, and she and I share a lot of the band duties all the way middle school through high school. So, and then I also have some staff members. Aaron and Jessica both help us out during the marching band season as well. So I feel really blessed to work with them. And
Michael Folk is our middle school and assists with me. And all of us together, and even Carly Klingensmith, our theater director. Our fine arts staff is not maybe as big as some schools, but we work together really, really well. And it was like that before we got there. Mike Williams and Raylene Platter, Wilson, they all worked together as well. So we kind of just moved into their spots and continued doing that. But getting to know kids, it is hard when you have that many.
Yeah.
But we also are very fortunate because we start them in 6th grade. So unlike high school teachers that only maybe have them 1 or 2 years, we've had them since 6th grade.
Yeah.
And so we've really seen them grow up. So by the time they're seniors, they've spent a lot of time with us.
I think it's one of the coolest opportunities that we get that we feel really, really blessed to have. That some of our students we get to have for 7 years. Like if we start them in 6th grade, we get to know those kids and see those kids grow for 7 years while they're in school.
That is just absolutely amazing. And it's cool for you guys, but it's really good for the kids. So,
Yes.
All right, so we're getting to know more about School of the Osage Band and Choir. It's Amy, it's Jeff. We'll be back, have some more with them right after this. If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the polar plunge to festivals, parades, aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootouts. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center is growing in our community with a new dental location to serve you in Eldon and a new location in Loring. COMC also makes your children a priority with a mobile dental unit serving schools in rural areas where access can be a challenge. COMC also offers OBGYN, sports medicine, pediatric, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center. We're getting to know Jeff Kile, Amy Yoder, the leaders of band and choir at the School of the Osage. Very successful programs, absolutely amazing. Amy, it looks like your girls' glee, they stay busy, they kind of go all over the place. I saw that they performed like at the governor's mansion and different things like
Yes.
that.
Well, Les Chanteurs actually we've got two chamber groups that performs. Les Chanteurs is the top mixed group, and we've performed in some unique places. I mean, the governor's mansion is one of the top ones the kids love, but and we've even performed on a highway. I mean, I think Jeff and I don't know how many years ago it was when they opened up. Was it 242?
242. We
Yeah.
marched down the highway
Really?
with a small group
And
of
nobody
kids.
got ran over,
And
man.
we sang the national anthem. I mean, we had all those high school kids out there for the opening, and that was unique.
I think when they put the Lake of the Ozarks sign there behind the theater, I think we climbed up on top of the hill and played the national anthem that day. So
the lake gives us opportunities because there's so many community events and even conventions and things like that we're asked, both the jazz band and our top choirs, to perform. And I mean, we've sang the national anthem at so many different places in the lake area. And Jeff and the band, and especially the jazz band, we've had opportunities to do fundraisers for great organizations, and that's kind of the outreach that we can do for Osage to the lake area, is kind of be that liaison between the school and the community.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. One thing that's always fascinated me, being a sports guy, I'm watching the marching band out there on the field like Ohio State or Michigan, and the coordination, the choreography is absolutely stunning. Do you do any of that choreography? Or?
We do a little bit of some of that, but we also have some help kind of writing some of that movement. So there's a lot of planning involved in that,
I guess.
And so we have a guy that we contract out that does some of that, and then we write some of the body movements that the kids do too. But it's challenging but fun.
Yeah, I bet. So football games are huge for the band. Where else do you guys perform?
We typically try to hit 3 different competitions in the fall. We kind of choose. We normally don't travel out of state, so we try to choose maybe one big college university to go to, and then a couple of high school competitions. So we try to hit a couple of Saturdays in October typically to go compete.
Yeah, I mean, fall just seems to be marching band time, right? That's so. Now you guys both, we're down to just a couple of minutes left, but you've been so successful, the choir and the band, celebrating a whole bunch of accomplishments right now. Like what's going on with the choir?
well, we are all preparing for music contests.
Yeah.
And we host the state festival for both the choir and the band for Misha. And that's a huge thing. So we've got 4 choirs that are going to be competing. We've got over 30 soloists, 9 small ensembles. I know Jeff has a lot too. And that's just very time consuming. We're working with kids before school, after school, during lunch, also obviously during our class periods. And so those festivals are really great because, especially solos and ensembles, if they receive a gold, they get to go to Mizzou to the state festival in April.
Nice.
So that's really what we're really working towards, and that starts this Saturday.
Wow.
So that's our first competition is Saturdays.
All right. Same thing with you?
Yeah, so just working a lot. We've got 2 bands that are getting ready for contests, and then we've got about 35, 40 solos and ensembles, and just giving kids an opportunity to kind of connect and do something cool. And it's extra, but it's fun, and gives them something to look forward to. So.
If kids want to get some more information about being in choir or getting started, and same thing with the band, how do they go about doing that? Is there a website, or is there somebody they can call to talk to?
Well, they can always do our school emails. It's always a great opportunity. Call the school, get in touch with us. We can help them get connected. Seeing us at school. Middle school obviously is a great place to get plugged in.
Yeah.
But also just reaching out to us and the school, and we can help them get plugged into where they might work.
Right. So if mom or dad's, they want their kids to get involved, they can just find you guys.
And the school counselors.
And you guys are good with that, right? You like to bring people in to help.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So there they are, the people behind all the success with the band and the choir at the School of the Osage, not just the high school, but middle school as well. Jeff, Kile, Amy Yoder, thank you guys for coming by. Appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for having us.
All right. And thank you for joining us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.